Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a tune similarity project where it's a program designed to analyze various tunes and tell how similar they are. And we've done a bit of that work. We've got this ABC notation. We can read in files in that format and pull out the notes, but we haven't worked out the part about tunes with parts. So as an example, lots of fiddle tunes, they have what they call an AABB structure. So I don't know if you analyzed poetry in high school or whatever, where you get the rhyming pattern. This is similar. It's like there's an A part, you play it twice. There's a B part, you play it twice. Other ones are AABA is another common pattern. But we have the capability in ABC to notate that, but we haven't treated it specially. We just took the notes in the order they came, ignoring parts. And we're working on fixing that. So we made some progress on the part description that goes in the header that tells you like the overall structure is AABB. We're not quite done with that. Once we do finish it, we want to move to the tune where you actually delineate which is the A part, which is the B part. And once we have that, we can do some better analysis. If it is AABB, we can put the notes for the A part twice and then the B part say if we wanted to. All right. We left off with a failing test, and we'll just run those again. Make sure everything's broken properly. Okay, so ABC parser tests. Let's get down to our tests. Okay, that's the helper. Okay, so here's examples. P colon tells us this is the parts section of the header. You got different things you can do. You can put a name, a letter, A, B, C, and so on. You can follow a description with a number which says repeat it 3 times. So this is the same as AAA. You can also parenthesize and put a segment in parentheses and then typically follow it with a number. So this one is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, B, B. So the B twice and within there the whole thing 3 times. And that's the place we're not supporting yet. We have support in our tune. We have the notion of a part that's the 1-letter name. We have a sequence. The pieces in a row, like A, B, and we have repeated, so the number count is in there. Now the parentheses need to form a sequence, and we gave up there yesterday at the end of the session. Okay, and let's find the actual complaints. Okay, so if we put AB2 3, what we're getting is, let's see, we got AB2 is not equal to, well, AB2 3. So we didn't appear to parse it correctly. All right. And then leftover characters, there's 1 left. Well, it's the 3 because we had parenthesis AB2, parend 3. So we didn't do the final 3. And let's go in here. Okay. Yeah, the deal is the parts parser. So the parts, so the AB2 stuff is covered by this. You got A, then B2. There's the digits, the optional digits there. This one doesn't have any optional digits. Okay, so it doesn't support it. I think the easiest thing to do is probably to take this stuff. Okay, so we get the parens, and notice the ampersands and the arrows, we're pointing at the one that we keep. We keep that part. And then if we add optional digits, and then build, well, what we got? Okay, well, the problem is this part spec parser is character to part. This is character just a character. The build part method takes a character and not a part. Okay, so the part spec parser already pulled out the part. I'm gonna make a routine. I don't know, I feel like I'm rushing through, but we'll refactor. Okay, let's say this is build repeat. And it's going to take a part followed by some characters. Okay, the parts, well, if there are no digits, we just need to return the part itself. Okay. And otherwise, well, again, we've got a part already, so let's just use it. Goes well, okay. And build repeat is what we want to call down here. P8. Okay. So we're allowing letter followed by digits or parenthesized expression followed by digits. And I think, yeah, that'll get us going. All right. I believe that will work. Okay, now, well, let's check it in. All right, so handle parts in parentheses being repeated. Now, I think we can simplify this. And I'm ready to kind of simplify a number of things. All right, so one thing we can do is this, once we have this A to Z, we know that's just going to be a part. If you look at build part, all it does is it pulls this string out and makes a part out of it. Okay, now the second thing is this part taking a string, well, I feel like we can just make it out, take a character. And we don't have so many places. I mean, we have a few that use that knowledge, but I think we can just take the hit of making the change and dealing with the consequences. I'm pretty sure when we do this, we'll get the warnings, then everything will tell us exactly where we're converting characters. Okay, so string apart. Well, we don't need string apart because part is now a character. And same thing here. Okay. That was those two. All right. And then there's certainly going to be some tests if there's not anything else. Okay, let's run that. Some tests should complain, I think. Maybe not. They may be going through the interfaces enough that they don't care. Okay, so good. Make part hold a character for the part name, not a string. It's nice when it's easier than you expect. Okay, so now I think here, this thing with A to Z, well, we can convert that. Let's see. I got to be a little careful here. The priority of these things. So this is kind of like multiply, and this is kind of like plus. So I need to, I'll parenthesize this just to be careful. Well, and because it's needed. All right, so this one I can pipe it to a function, close that, and digits. Okay, optional digits. Now the function is, given a character, how do you convert that into a part? Well, we know it's a character. So really it's this, where part is the character, and that's $0 is the argument to the closure. Okay, so we're converting this to a part, and now build part. Well, the type we have is part, an array of parts. Now it's not character, an array of parts. So this build part method should simplify. Argument character. Well, this should be a part, and I'm going to break it apart. But if it's already there, it's part. Well, that's the part. Okay. And if it's not, well, we still just need part. Okay. Right. That should be good. Oddly slow. Okay. I like when it takes 30 seconds and it tells you it did it in 0.03. Okay. Where's my 4.195? Okay. All right. But in any case, that worked. Now, if I look at build part and build repeat, they look very similar. So similar, I would say they're identical. Okay, so I think build repeat is probably the better name here then. And let's go ahead and use it. That should be okay. And I don't think anybody's using build part now. Symbol, right, nobody's using that. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. The thing that's going on here that I don't like as much. So this thing goes through and builds a part, or followed by optional digits and build repeat. This thing builds the parenthesized expression, which yields a part, and then optional digits build repeat. I should be able to fold that together. So I'm going to break that apart a little bit. I'm going to say let, I don't know, part one is just not a great name. I'm gonna work on names later. Let's see. We can do this. Well, it's really this whole thing. If you allow this, or whoops, or I guess this. Okay. So what that gives us is am I off count? Yes. Match. No. What's the matter here? Okay, I got parentheses. Well, something's funny. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm either matching a letter or a parenthesized part. Okay, and then part one, what I would expect to be able to do is say one part. Well, I don't need parens to do that. If I say one part and this and digits and then build repeat, okay, and I don't need this anymore. Okay, so this is a letter or a parenthesized parts followed by digits, and then build repeat takes care of it. Okay. This, well, let's make sure it works, and then we can work on those names. Okay. This is what I want to call part one. I don't know. It's one part isn't terrible. This maybe let's work on this one. I think repeated part. Okay. So I think that's better. One part is either a letter or parenthesized list of parts. The repeated part is that followed by digits. And if the part spec itself is one or more repeated parts. Okay, so each one of so this corresponds to a single part. This is the parts repeated, and this is the list of parts. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Definitely happier. Let's, again, I know I'm running backups, but I don't know why it would otherwise be so slow. Maybe my backup disk is more full than I realize. Okay, but I think we're closing in on the right thing here. These levels like this, that reminds me very much of arithmetic expressions. So this is almost like a factor can be, a number or a parenthesized expression, kind of making an analogy there. So, all right. Refactor, reorganize grammar, and rename pieces. Okay. All right. Now, how are we looking here? Let's go back down here. Okay, so we got AB, A3, AB2, 3. Let's check our to-do. What else do we have to do? Parse the P code in the tune header. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. Show the part contents better. Oh, that would be a good thing. Handle part descriptions with parentheses. We've done that. Can't believe October's practically over. Okay, and there was another one we did. Part hold a character. We did that. Okay. Now, parse the P code in the tune header. Show the part contents better. Let's see. What do we want to do there? So what that comes to, let me go to the, the notation. Parts. We'll get some examples. AB3, CD3, 2. Okay, well, we kind of did an example like that. Equivalent to this. I kind of feel like maybe we need to see this. Like, I don't know, when we were failing our test, that message was not as good as it could be. What can I do to make this fail again? Let's just take this out for a moment. Okay. I've noticed it a couple times and just never quite always got to fixing the stuff and not worrying about the message. But this failure, okay, expected character in A to Z, I don't know, that's even, let's, do this better. Let's take out this. It's going to fail more stuff, but that's okay from my perspective here. Okay, what's the error here? Expected 1. Okay. Part A is not equal to part A3 repeated 3. So this structure we're reading here, it's clunky. I mean, you know, it's like they don't. It doesn't read well. You're reading this very highly nested thing. I would like to make this just have a descriptive string that is. I'm open to whether it should be A3 or AAA. I kind of think AAA would be more useful for us. These parts, I mean, once in a while you meet a tune with 4 parts. You know, it's got A, B, C, and D parts. Once in a while you meet tunes that do the, you know, AB2.CD3 kind of thing. And the whole thing too, you know, you meet that kind of stuff occasionally. I don't think it's going to be bad if it just said this is AAA and be done with it. So let's put that back and let's make a test case around tune. Okay, so it's really part that I want to have a better string description. And I think that string description will be useful for other purposes too, so I'm not too bugged by it. So let's tune part string for single part. Okay. And maybe this doesn't have to be that even. Maybe it's this. We can just talk about parts. I don't know the name of this thing. Is it description? We'll have to see. But it should be A. Okay, and oops, part. Okay, takes character, and this test should fail. There is no description. All right. So now I'm going to make extension part, and I think it's just custom string convertible. And it'll offer, yes, please give me the stub. It is description. Okay. And let's just return blank question marks for now. One failure. We got question marks. It's not equal to A. That's kind of what we'd expect in this case. All right. So now, because we're working with this enum, we will find it most easy to just do a switch. And we can do case part of let name. And then we'll do default. We can still return empty. Okay. And I'm just going to make this a refactoring for now. Oh, to put a dot in there. Okay, and should get the same failure. Okay, nothing is not equal to A, and now we want a string, so we'll have to wrap that character into a string, but this should pass. All right, and then I don't know if this should be a separate file or not. Okay, so string a single part. Okay, how about let's I'm going to call this simple part returns name. Okay, I think that's that one. This one is sequence part returns member names, I guess. Okay. So a sequence, the part is going to be a part.sequence, which takes an array of parts. Okay, like that. And that should just be the contents. AB. All right, let's make sure that fails as we expect. Should be question marks. Okay, and to make that work, the second alternative is sequence, and let array, well, parts. And there's only one piece left, so let's go ahead and make this case repeated. Okay. Same failure. And now we want to, basically we're going to map each one. So parts is an array dot map to $0 I'll space this out a little. Okay, so I've taken every part, I've mapped it to its name, and then I want to concatenate them. What is it? Joined? And I don't think I have to. I don't have to give a separator. So take the parts, map them all to their descriptions, join them together into a string, and make sure. Hello, welcome. Okay, and then our final case, this one we want to do the repeated parts. Part, I guess it's just repeats members. So what we're doing is working on a program to compare tunes and see their similarity. And we're working on a part that says sort of the overall arrangement of a tune. You can say, this is the A part, this is the B part, and then you have this specification that says, do A, B, B, or do A, B twice, the whole thing repeated 3 times, or things like that. So we've got a little grammar going for that, and we're trying it out to kind of turn that into a full description of the part structure. Okay, so this is dot sequence of part AB. Okay, and let's see, what am I closing here? That closes the sequence, and if I have 3 of those, okay. Okay, cool. AB. All right, so if I have A followed by B occurring 3 times, let's make this a little more explicit that they're the same. So A followed by B 3 times, AB, AB, AB. Okay, and this should fail because we return question marks. And we're going to go through and, all right, so this now we've got the part. Okay, I think we can just, there's a string that will do this for us if I can remember it, or at least trigger it. String. Oh, what is it? It's like repeating. Yeah. Repeating part dot description count times. Okay. Let's see what that quick help. That's not quite what I was hoping for. Okay. Create a string. Oh, it only takes characters. Is there a version? Oh, one more. Well, let's see if this builds. Maybe. All right, good. Okay, so now we've got better descriptions for parts involving repeats and sequences. Okay, so I think we need to pull this out. We've been adding part. It might grow a little bit more. Let's go ahead and make a part class, a separate file for it. So it's still, I would call it a domain class still. It's a Swift file. Part.swift. Okay, here's tune. Let's build that. All right, and then I think the same thing for tests. Let's make a part tests one. Okay, domain. Put part tests, and I'll just copy the whole file. Part tests. I don't think that's really true. I think it's a little confused. This is part tests. Part returns name, repeat. We don't need this one. This one is about the tune starting with the right part. It's not about parts themselves. So take that out. Tune test needed the testable import, so I'm sure part test does too. Okay, let's run this. Let's make sure this is, this really should be shared tests. I guess all three can have access, but it's not really this. Okay. What's your problem? Oh, no, that's tests. Oh, there it goes. Build succeeded. All right. Boy, this time yesterday I was still trying to get Xcode working. All right. Tune tests. I think we still have some of these now, so we don't need these. These tests are about part. This test is about tune and its relationship to part, so that should be fine. All right. Delete duplicate tests. All right, and let's see where we are on this. Parse the P code in the tune header, show the part contents better. We've done that. Okay, and now part descriptions can have dots. Ugh. I don't think it's... See, here's an example. AB3 dot CD32. Okay. Dots may be placed anywhere within the P field. Okay, so we can have dots at the beginning, dots at the end, dots between. Ugh. I just don't even want to deal with it. Okay, that's the part, but we care about the parsing. Okay, so the parse test for this. All right. We got A, B. Let's deal with the dots. Parts may have dots anywhere. Okay. We'll create one just like there. And then we're going to check successful parse on it, feeding it something. Okay. I think we can... Well, okay, what do we have to do? All right, let's put some dots in the front and back of this thing. Okay, if you put dots before and after, it should come up with the part. That's going to fail because we don't recognize dots. We don't expect dots. No, this thing. Okay, dots may be placed anywhere within the header. Okay. Right. Expected a parenthesis. Okay, because we didn't have at column 2, we didn't have the number, we just had the parenthesis. Okay, I think we can improve that slightly. Here, our one part, this message is not really not really correct. Okay, so what I think we want to do is we have this sort of alternative thing that says what's the message if a bunch of alternatives fail. And I think expected single letter or parentheses, okay, is probably going to make that message better. It's still wrong. I mean, it's still failing because it should ignore the dots, but I want a better message. Okay, expected single letter parentheses in column 2. All right. But now we need to handle these dots, and I think I'm trying to think from the grammatical point of view, like who should be consuming them, and I think maybe the overall thing should be able to deal with dots before and after, and anybody else should worry about dots between. Okay, so let's take that approach. Okay, so here, part spec is the overall parser, so it's the repeated parts. All right, now what we're saying should happen instead of this. Well, interesting. Okay, one thing that can happen is let's just define a helper. Let dot equal match dot. Okay. So the overall part spec is really 0 or more dots followed by the repeated part and followed by more dots. Okay, so I'm saying at the front or back of an expression, I should allow dots. And I think that should pass. Right. Okay. Handle dots at start or end of expression of parts expression. Okay, and now let's deal with the cases where it's between. Okay, so that was this one. I think we can kind of, okay. If I put them between here in the middle of the AB, then that ought to be something. Okay, so I can put dots there. All right. And this test should be back to failing because it doesn't know about dots in the middle. Okay. And I think it's easier to see here. I have to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it comes up there, but I should be able to hit that 5. A is not equal to AB, and 1 is not equal to 0. So there's one leftover character. So all we did was pull the A, and then we have this extra dot that's left over, and then after that it's all gone. Crazy. Okay, to fix it, again, we're kind of just extending our grammar here. This one says I let you repeat parts, but really I should allow dots between them. Okay, and the way we can do this, instead we'll use a different operator. The repeated part, one repeated part, but then we separate them. And we want to keep the left-hand side, and this is dots, optional dot. Well, multiple dots. Okay, because it's kind of like that. So already I can see this star dot thing, right, is there. Okay, so ampersand says this separated by one or more of these. Okay, and it's got higher priority than this, which is just appending. Okay, so this part is read as one piece. Okay, and I'm going to allow optional multiple dots between them. Let's make sure it works, and then we'll make the test a little harder. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Command 5. Single letter or parentheses. Column 9. Column 9. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do we get column 9 out of that? Oh, are we here? Yes, we are. Oh. Yeah, interesting. So what's happened is we peel off the front part, and then we're saying, okay, now you can have these optional dots. Well, there's an ambiguity in the grammar now because the dots we're expecting this was the dots between, and we don't see it's between anything. It's really at the end. So I don't know if I'm going to have to. Right, we don't know if it's there or not. I don't know. I don't want to do backtracking if I can help it. How can I make this work? So here, let me see. We might have something in our framework to do this. Read me. I'm looking for the backtracking ones. Okay, so this one is if either parse, return the failure that got the farthest. Do we have a backtracking sequence? Backtracking optional. I think we want this. So it's 0, 1, but if it fails, I think that's going to be better. Let's see. Ampersand. What if I make it like that? Okay, so if we're doing this, we're saying you can have one or more dots. Oh, I think spacing has to be. Okay. We can have one or more dots. They're optional. Okay. If they fail, that's fine. Okay, let's see if that does better. If not, maybe I gotta do some playing around. No. Okay, how can we structure this grammar? Okay. If I let repeated part have dots after it, what would that do? I think the problem is it would go. No, maybe that would work. I don't think I have another backtracking one. No. So annoying. Okay, so if I said a repeated part is a part followed by digits and followed by, but ignoring, let's say, many dots. Okay. And I take it out of here. So now I'm trying to make it more linear. Your repeated part can have dots. Repeated part should come up with a part. It's a pipe that yields a part. So yeah, that should be a part. This part to part cannot. This, maybe this is too much. I take that off. Cannot convert array of parts to part. Okay, that's build parts. All right, array of parts to part. Cannot convert expected type, keep right, mini, satisfy. I mean, all this stuff. Where's my AKA? AKA part goes to part. Oh, I took away my repeats. Okay, let's try this. All right, so now I'm saying you can have dots at the front, and then any single part can be followed by dots. All right, that's okay. Let's get to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna make this more complicated. Whoops. C. Let's do that. Okay, part B and dot part C. Okay, let's make sure this is still legit. Okay, and then I think both those cases maybe are interesting. So this one proves we can have dots at the end, and this one proves we can have dots in the middle. All right, what else we got? Successful parse. We got this A3. Okay, can we have dots between the thing and the number? Okay, let's do this. A dot 3 should be the same as a repeated A and 3. That ends. No, wait a minute. That ends that. Okay, good. This should fail. We just got A, we didn't get there, and we didn't recognize the dots there. Excuse me. Okay, so here the problem is digits needs to allow dots in there. So between here and here, we can also have our dots. Make sure the processing goes right there. Okay, so we have our one part. We can throw some dots in. We can have our digits. We can have some more dots. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Now, the next obnoxious thing, there's a classic song, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Let's put the dot in the middle. Okay, this should be 99. All right, I think this will fail. Yeah, it is not equal to, I don't know if that's 99, but a 9. Yeah, so it found the 9, but it didn't do the 99. Okay. And we have one character left over. It couldn't parse the dot. All right, and that's in our digits. Well, one or more of this. This certainly becomes more complicated. So one or more. I feel like I want to do that same thing I tried before and it failed back there, but I'd like to say it's digits separated by optional dots. But I think somebody's gonna, whoops, stop, cut that, paste it up here. Okay, I think I need to do more like, okay, it's one or more digits and dots. Is that going to work? Okay, I don't know. I feel like there's another case missing. Let's do this with digits here. Okay, good. And then one last case, I think, is this parentheses expressions. Okay, so let's take this. Actually, I probably should take this. Yeah, I'm gonna make it simpler. Okay, let's make parenthesis dot, put some dots, parenthesis dot A, B, dots. Okay, and this should really be a part dot sequence. Part B, and no 99. Okay, so A, dots before and after parentheses, and that should be okay. And this should fail. We don't allow them in there. Oh, now why is that successful? Oh, okay. You can always convince yourself afterwards. But I think what's going on is it says part spec parser. Well, our part spec parser allows the dots before and after inside, inside there. So we've already handled this case. This thing allows the dots there. Okay. Cool. So handle parts with dots. And I think this, well, that's all part of this. Parse the P code. And this was all the same thing there too. So parse the P code. Last time, no scale report. Okay. Yeah. So I believe we've handled all these crazy cases and dots, parentheses, repeats. We can reduce it to the actual string of parts. Seems good. And there are uses of it we don't accommodate yet. All right, but make sure everything's still passing. But yeah, I think we've got the tune header part specification done. Allow dots anywhere in the parts spec. Now, I don't know, from a human factor point of view, does that dot really help the readability that much? I don't buy it. It certainly complicates the parsing. The other alternative we had is we could have gone through and stripped out all the dots, but the problem with doing that is then the locations change. So if there was an error here, instead of being in column 6 or 6, it would say it's in column 5 because there was a dot or whatever the numbers are. But, it definitely has a factor there. So I think we're doing the right thing with the dots, but sorry. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think this is probably a good time for a break. What we have to do next is the P code in the tune body. So let's go find the examples, talk about that real quick. So they've got a bunch of examples at the end here. And when you find, let's see, the P, I think there was one in here. Yeah. Here's the P statement, AB2, AC2A. Okay. And then down in here is the actual part specifications. Now you could do it as a P colon, which is what we'll support first, but this is sort of an inline form of it. And this one's simpler. It's just P colon letter. But the thing is that everything following it is now part of that part. Okay, so PA is sort of the default, but once you specify the current part, it should go in there. And yeah, so we're accumulating PA, all this stuff, then PB, all that stuff, then PC, all this stuff. Okay. And given those, then you can form the tune with the whole thing. Oh, notice that gets bigger. Interesting. All right. Anyway, we'll come back and deal with that. So let's take a break, about 3 minutes, and go from there. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, I'm not as ready as I thought I was. Okay, so the deal is we can put these specs, P colon A and so on, the part spec is perfectly reasonable to do, and we parse it with the parts parser, but we've never demonstrated that we actually can call the parts parser. And in fact, we don't. Let's go down to where the parsing gets done. Okay, so I don't know if I like this either. All right, so the way we're doing this is the pattern is there's a tune header. Let's see, there's some states. you can be in one of these 5 states. You're looking for content, so you haven't found any tune yet. You're looking around, skipping lines until you find an X colon line. Then once you find that, you're requiring a title. So you basically need that title next, and then you can have one or more titles. But once you finish them, you're in the tune header. Once you've done anything that's not a title, then you can't have more titles. So let's go down here. Oh, and then the last state is you're in the tune body. Okay, and we are not quite ready to do that. So require T, you're going to parse a title and try and gather any more titles. If the line is empty, then okay, you've got a problem. But if you find a T, you're going to go ahead and parse it just like you did up here, add a title. But you're in the gather title state. If you find a K line, that's the end of the tune header, and we switch over to tune body. Okay, but if we find anything else, any other tune header start, then we just say, okay, basically skip that line and we're in the tune header. Okay, and tune header here, we are looking for K, but if we don't find a K, we find anything else, we skip it and we're still in tune header. I'm going to have duplication here and I don't like it, but I don't have a good, easy way around it either. But in any case, we match K, but we don't match P for parts. And we match it in the sense that tune header starts contains it. Let's go jump to it. Okay. Why, yes, I do know how to deal with P, it says. But I don't I don't do anything about it. So okay. So what we need then is, well, it's really 2 tests because there's 2 states involved. And I don't know, that's really clunky. But it's doing lines for each, which is nice. Ugh. At any rate, I think what happens is if we see a K, okay, it's a key. If we see something else, then we need to process it. Well, if it's a T, we need to do something, okay, which would be parse it with parse.parts parser that we went to so much trouble to create. Okay. So let's see if we can, let's find a simple tune. And this is growing. Check tune parsing. Well, I don't even think we need that. That's all note stuff. I don't know. What is this multiple songs thing? Okay, that's an actual test. It gets the songs. It expects some notes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Well, successful parse is more the pieces. I don't know. This is where I'm worried about breaking things up because this is becoming an awful lot to look through. Title parser, parts parser. Okay, parts with dots, errors, unknown field, unknown info field, blank line. One simple song following header. Okay. I think we're closer to that. Check tune parsing doesn't let us insert lines here. Maybe that would be okay. Yeah, I kind of think this is the place for it. All right, let's make two functions. Let's duplicate this. Okay, and this is going to call check tune parsing note lines expected note names and what? Okay, but this one's going to take an extra argument. Note lines, let's add header lines. And this is empty. Okay, that should be no change. All right, and then we should be able to insert header lines here. And that again should be no change. Now, that's not helping me as much as I want. Okay, I guess what I want, I'm going to break this apart too. All this is making room for what I really want. So I want to say, I want to do something that locates a tune. Parse tune. Header line string, expected note names. I'm not going to worry about the expected part of this. I'm just going to say, I'm going to put in the header lines, I'm going to put in the note lines, I'm going to parse it, and I'm going to return, I'm going to assert this. And then I'm going to assert this. And I'm going to return tune sub 0 and drop all this stuff. And make this function return a tune. Okay, so it parses it, it makes some assertions, and it returns the tune. All right, now here, I'm going to say, let tune equal parse tune header lines note lines. Okay, and then this parser equals find tunes. That was done down there. Key of G is okay, and that's okay. This is tune. This becomes tune, and we've already done that. Okay. So now okay. So what I've given myself is this parse tune now just gives me the tune, and I can query the stuff I care about on it. Okay, if I pass header lines and note lines, I'm already checking that we parse notes, so that's fine. All right, so let's capture this. We work tune checking to split out tune parsing. Okay, I think I can say that. And then I'm better positioned to make my check. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see, spaces, groups, notes. Let's get up here. Okay, there's a test. Okay. Is that doing the same thing? Tunes, parse tunes. Assert tunes.count1. He's got other stuff going on. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put in my function test parse tune incorporates parts. I think that's what I care about. So if I call parse one with parse tune with header lines, let tune equal parse tune. My header lines, I want to say p colon a to b2. Okay, new line, and my body is kind of irrelevant. This may not be good in the long run, but it gets us through this. So that's the notes. And then I want to assert tune.parts.description should be AABB. Okay, so if I inject this header, it should come back and say the description is AABB. All right, and this test will fail because we don't call the parts parser. Okay, and it just matched A, which is the default. Okay, parts parser. Okay, so here we are. If the tune contains, well, I want to just break it out, so I'm just going to say else if line starts with p colon, then do something. Well, what we're going to do is a parse and a tune set. Okay. And a state. Okay, if it starts with P, we're going to parse it with parser dot parts parser. Whoops, parse that line. And then we're going to call tunes dot set parts. Where's tune? Well, let's add set parts. Okay, so we got set parts. Parts. Well, that's weird because I just put it in there. Okay, let's do a clean. Maybe it needed to be public. Oh, tunes. Let's go find tunes. Okay. Okay. Let's comment this out a moment. I don't think I saw that test fail. Okay. A's not. Oh, we did see it fail. Okay, never mind. Why is that? Tunes. Value. There it goes. Okay, this should pass. What the heck? The disappearing error. Okay. All right. Anyway, make parser call parts parser for P lines. Okay. Now I mentioned duplication. The problem I have is if you're in the tune header, right? Like gather titles, that's when it shows up in the title section. All right. So if we look at our test, let's look at parse tune. Okay, we have the title line. So the line we're inserting is actually in the title section, as it were. But what if we have another line in there? So let's make another test. Parser test. Check tune. Where's the part stuff? parts parser. Whoops, don't do that. Incorporates parts just after title. Okay, so this one, I'm going to add something else irrelevant. I think R is remark. Do we have one? Well, C traditional. That's kind of a remark. It's definitely not a title. So let's add that. C colon traditional. New line, that. Let's mix it up just a tiny bit. Okay, this should fail. Okay, it only came up with A, which is its default. All right, and the reason is we handle this in the tune header. In the tune, not the body. Where is this? In gather titles, we handle it, but we don't handle it down here in the tune header, which is where we are once we got past the titles. So I'm going to put this in here. Okay. And this is this duplication I do not like. But it should make the test pass. Okay. Handle parts in main tune header, not immediately after titles. And I don't know, we may need to. There's this duplication I don't like. We haven't dealt with tune body. Okay. Well, I think that does what we needed to. If you put it in a tune, it deals with it. I think we're ready to move on to the tune body. Okay. I don't know if I should write a sort of an establishing test that proves we don't do it. That's tricky to know. All right. This one is, we've defined, like this defines A and B parts, but our tune just has notes. It doesn't really distinguish A and B. So I think we need to, well, let's do the overall one. Let's tune defines its parts. Okay, so I don't care about this now per se. but I would like to do the body P colon A, new line, ABC, new line, P colon B, DEF. Okay. So the header is AB2, and then this is A is ABC, B is DEF. Okay. And then tune parts dot description. I almost think that's like the tune parts. Okay, I'm going to go back. Yesterday, we made the point that parts really contain sections, which contain a mix of instructions and common stuff and variants. Actually, there's something else in here, is pickup notes. I don't know if I can squeak that in. Pickup notes. Okay, doesn't affect things, but I should be able to ask for a part. And at least now I should get notes. But really, it's almost like anything should be able to give me notes. I feel like I need to ask for the parts of a tune to be these things, like sections. I mean, it's not sections, they're parts, but I don't know, there's kind of an ambiguity, because if I had, I don't know if I can write it out in a good way, but if I had part A, we haven't dealt with lowercase, and then it's this repeated section, ABC, like that. Okay, it makes sense as a part, but if it went on to say ABD like that, normally I would expect the A part, well, that would by itself, if I ignore the PA, that just tells me play ABC, ABC, followed by ABD, ABD. If I said PA2, I would almost expect this all to be repeated again. But I don't know, if I just had this, oops, and my overall part description said A2, P colon A2 at the top, then I would expect to play ABC, ABC, the repeats being kind of irrelevant. And I think if I had another repeat section, it kind of doesn't mean anything. But somehow I need to say this is a part, and you should get parts like 0, 1, 2, 3. There's some number of parts, and you should be able to access them. I don't quite know. Nobody's prepared to deal with that yet, I guess, is the thing. And if they did this, I don't know what that means, because that tells me to play ABC twice, DEF twice, but if I said A2, like, should I play the whole thing twice? I don't know. There's just an ambiguity there. But I can have stuff before this for sure. I could change keys to the key of G, and I could do other stuff. I don't know what. Okay, so that tells me I kind of need to say what are the parts of this thing. And then I think this parts description, I think that's the parts description. I think that's its own thing on Tune. So let's make that happen. It's a tricky way through. Okay. Parts, I think that is not right. Okay, so let's provide public. Yeah, maybe it's down here. Public var parts description is a string. That's kind of a characteristic of this thing. Okay, and then I mean, and its thing is parts dot description. Okay, and so tune tests, no, tune parser here. This should be parts description, and so should this. I'll make sure that's a refactoring. So I'm kind of extracting out it's if I extracted out the method that was tuned up parts.description. Okay. And there's no printing there. Okay, it was just going by. All right. Add parts description to know the AABB pattern string. Okay, I think that's good. But parts, that may not be the right name. I think the tune has a part. This is like a part specification. Let's try that. Now, I don't know tune. Oh boy. I don't think that goes here. I think parts contains the notes. You can definitely add notes. And this is, so right now, all this stuff, all we support in here is notes, not even instructions. So I'm thinking for now, maybe we don't introduce the sections concept. We just say parts have their own notes and let it go there. I think. Okay. Oh. There's so much complexity. I feel buried. Okay. So the parts, like there is no parts anymore. There's part specification and description. All right. But I think I need to add parts. So let's find our thing. Okay, incorporates parts just after title, outside titles. Okay, so that's incorporates parts outside titles. That's okay. Defines its parts. Parts description. But I want to say I should be able to look up these parts by their name. Maybe even A. Like if I said tune bracket A, I would kind of expect to get the ABC out of here. Okay, so that's the part description. And they're almost independent, right? I could define them in any order. It's really what they are. The part spec is gonna tell us. Okay, so I want to say tune sub A. Well, they're complicated, aren't they? I'm going to say it contains notes. I'm just going to count them for now. 3. And let's make 2. It's a bit of a weak assertion. ABC. Let's do BG. Okay, so the A part and the B part are subscripted off of here. I think that's true. And maybe defaulting to the A part is not right. Anyway, all right, this test should fail. The first part's fine. Okay, it doesn't even have subscripts. All right, so let's give Tune some subscripts. It would be nice if I remembered how to do that. Func, is it subscript? It's just subscript, maybe. Yields, well, I think it yields notes for now anyway. Build failed. Really? Notes doesn't know its count? That seems odd. Yeah, I guess you can step through a sequence, but you can't answer the size without walking to it. Underestimated count, but not count. Okay. Well, notes, let's give it count. I don't think it's wrong to ask how many notes are in this thing. And we want to return notes to count. Oops. Yeah. Did I put parentheses? Maybe not. Okay. I really get bugged by this compiler not keeping up. Okay. 0 is not equal to 3. So the count section has nothing and nothing. I'm surprised it answers the question. Tune subindex. Wait a minute. Tunes. Am I checking the right thing? I want tune. Subscript by character gives notes. Return. Oh, we always return empty notes. Okay. Yeah, we're on track. Believe it or not. Okay. So go back. Okay, so it just returns 0 or 2. That's understandable. And then I think we should... If you ask for a count, no, let's make that a separate test. All right. Tune. How about undefined part has no notes? Okay. So if we just put the A section in, A section, and we ask for the B section, we get 0. Okay, and that should also, well, it'll pass now. We got to keep it passing. Don't, well, okay, yeah, that part fails. I guess we don't have to ask that one. We proved it above. Okay, so this one's all right. Okay. All right, let's take another quick break, a couple or 3 minutes, and we're going to come back and start making this tune stuff work. All right, see you in a couple. So we've got this section with the count. I think what it means is when we see the parts in the tune body, we need to tell the tune like kind of where we're going to add stuff to. So add notes, it has this notes collection. I don't know if that's, I want to say that's the A part. I mean, there may be something that's the whole notes, but that, okay. So I think what it needs to be that, like, this stuff is kind of the accumulator section. You set the key, the notes, the title. Okay. I think we need to say current part. And when you say P:(A), you're saying the current part is A, and anybody who appends should go in the referenced part. And maybe we can default that. That's fine. But notes, I think, should become a dictionary of parts to notes. Does anybody reference this directly? The Parsons Code report asks for the notes. Okay. I kind of think notes is really more of a composite-y kind of thing. All right. Let's see what we got to do here. And I don't know, this is becoming a more ambitious thing. This is the high level test, so it's kind of like, ugh. All right. So if okay, what can we do? I want to make this neutral and not break any existing stuff. Okay, so let's go back to tune. And notes, it's really like a, okay, let's define part to notes. Is there a better way to say this? It really is parts. And I don't want it public. I'm going to make it private. Var parts is dictionary from character to notes. And it starts out empty. Okay. Then there's another thing that's the current part is a character and it starts out A. All right. Now, when you accumulate notes, I think you ought to accumulate them into the specified part. Maybe you can accumulate them in notes too, because we don't want to break anything yet. But really, adding notes should say add them to the current parts as well. Okay, so add notes. These notes, I want to say parts sub current part. Okay, that's a notes dot add more notes. This, why is that? Optional. Okay, I want to say if part sub current part is nil, then do something. And then, well, I want to say part sub current part equals notes, empty notes. Okay. And then I know it's okay. Oh, can I say self? And that one I know I'm guaranteeing it will have it by that. Let's do it the other way. Parts, current part. Add more notes and then add them to notes. All right. So if I do this, nobody should break. We have one failing test still. That should be failing, but okay. Who's failing? Yeah, that's that failing test we had before. Okay, so adding notes adds them to the part. Okay. Asking for the part. Asking for the part should return current part. Okay. Let's do that down here. If part sub current part, parts of current part equals that, and then return parts sub name. I guess that's this name. Okay, if you ask for a part and it doesn't exist, we create an empty one and then we return it. So if it does exist, this exclamation point doesn't hurt anything. We guarantee it does exist, so we're good. All right, so we start off with an empty list, add more to it. Okay, so now this, I'm doing that. So I can just say self sub current part. I know I get something, add more notes. Okay, and that's an object, so that should be okay. All right. And again, I think I'm not breaking anything that isn't already broken. Okay, so what I believe I'm doing is I'm kind of writing a shadow area is the way I can think of it. I take the current part and I'm going to, when you tell me to add more notes, I add it to the current part and I add it to the notes section. All right, today people look at the notes section. Tomorrow I'm going to get them to look at the parts. And notes is a function of parts, so that can work too. Okay. Now I think we're to the point of needing to do the work in here. And I don't know. I mean, I could comment the test out and do that stuff as a refactoring. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Oh, interesting. See, now it's 5 because everybody's writing to the A section, and B is wrong because it's still 0. Okay. So we just need to make sure that we parse this stuff. Okay, so now ABC parser. All right, this is the difference if, well, this is not the right behavior, but it's something. Okay, if we're in the tune body and we see a line starting with P, we need to change the current part. Let's get tune right. So the current part is what needs to change. And I don't know, is that let's add a thing for it. Set current part, and we want it to be the name of character. Okay, this tells us where stuff's writing to from here on. Current part equals name. Okay. And in our parser, tune body, if the line starts with P, well, we want to set current part to, I'm going to say name, And I'm gonna shortcut it for a second here. Name equals X. Okay. Let name equal X. Maybe I have to say character. Is it complaining? Tunes has no member. Okay. Let's do name of character. This is a shortcut here. I'm going to not do a parse. I'm going to tell Tunes set current part. State in header is not relevant. Okay, so now in Tunes, we got to set current part. I don't know if Tunes needs to do all this, but name of character, tunes.last.set current part of name. Okay. So we basically are saying start accumulating this new part. And I think this is going to blow up a little bit because X is going to get all the stuff. The other two are going to be 0. Okay, we're changing. Yeah, we're changing them around a little bit. Now they're zeros. Okay, now let's start parsing this. Okay, this name then is confusing me. Parts parser. This is really the header parts parser. Okay. And then I don't know if I need it's kind of a simple parser. Let's just write it. Let body part parser equal match P and match colon and one of A to Z okay, and that should give me a character. Okay, so if I do parse it, let's let name equal parse it with body part parser and the line. That should give me a name, which is a one character name. Your type, body part parser. And then expect character to T. Let's see this thing up here. Parse it. Parser key parser line. Key. Oh, well, I gotta try. Body part parser line. Well, I don't know why that is not matching a character. Okay, what's your type? He's keep right, satisfy character. He should be a character. I don't know, can I? If I do that, does that help any? Generic part T. Well, I don't know what's going on. Match P, match colon, match one of those. Cannot convert value. AKA pipe keep right. To expect type bind character T. If line starts with p colon, if line starts with p colon, okay. Let key equals try parse it, parser.key parser. This one's just body part parser with line. Let's see the type of this thing. Well, let's make sure this works for that. Body part parser of cbind of part equals that. Keep right, character to bind specified type. Oh, should be C part of character. Keep right. Character should be character. It should be working. Why the error is there? No, he's still unhappy. Satisfy character to specify type bind character. I don't get it. Where's one of? Satisfy is a parser, input type. So we're matching characters, so it should match a character. Well, let's try it this way. We'll let parser equal that. Let parser 1 equal that. And then let body part parser of cbind character equal, and this is where we have bind. Bind parser 1 parse. Is that better? So I don't know. It seemed to me like this should be a parser that takes characters to a single character. And this is a parse method and it works compatibly. So I don't know. Okay, but anyway, what are we doing here? We match our character. We parse it. Well, we set up our parser. We match that character. And with the body part parser and looking at the line, then we set the current part to that name. Okay, I think that's progress. Okay. All right, so make parsing in the body. No, make follow, obey, make tune okay, I think that's kind of what it's doing. Alrighty, now this is okay. So when we see a parts directive in the body, we change the current part we're accumulating to, and do all that. Okay. We do the parsing of it and change what we're accumulating to. The next notes will go to that part. Okay. This, I want to do some refactoring, and I'm just not quite sure where to go with things. But this, it seems simplistic, like doing this much, but it kind of is important. All right. I guess the next thing I'm going to look at is, can I get rid of those notes? And this is where let's see, the notes of tune reflect its parts. I think that's what I want to say. And so AB2, this ABC, I think this should come out ABC, BG, ABC, BG. And maybe I just need to do this much. Maybe I could just do A and B. But I want to make sure I got notes, so let's do D and E. Okay, so I should see D, E, D, E. All right, so if I say tune.notes should reflect the parts. So it should be well, we don't need this anymore because we know that theoretically works. All right. Okay, so expected notes equals D, E, D, E dot map, and then we got to turn each one into the notes. Okay, so the tune should have the reflect expected notes, and I think we've done this mapping before. Yeah. Hope that exists. Does not. No accidentals in the key of C. Okay. Let's do this and a little space there. Okay. So we have a tune AB2, which is ABAB, And the A has a D and the B has an E, and we expect to see D, E, D, E. Okay, let's make it D, E, F, G. D, E, F, G, D, E, F, G. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to make it tell the story. Okay, and we're going to map each one to the key of C, to an actual note in the key of C. We want to say, basically we're saying the notes are computed from this, and that is not the case today. What I expect we'll get is D, E, F, G. D, E, F, G is not equal to D, E, F, G, D, E, F, G, D, E, F, G. Okay, so it just accumulated them in the order they were done. Let's switch it, or let's make it different. Let's say it's BA2. That really throws it off. Then it's FGDE, FGDE. Because we said the B part was first. And I don't know, we can, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. And this should still fail. But it's even more visible why it fails. Okay, D, E, F, G, the notes in the order they came are not really equal to the notes that we got. Okay. And I don't even know if that notation there helps me. All right. That may be where we stop. I think it's good. So what we have now is when you accumulate a tune, we have add notes. We basically add the notes to the current part, and we add them to the current list of notes. But what we really want notes to be is we want notes to be reflecting the part specification. And if there is, how do I say it? If there is a specification, we want to get the pieces from that. Okay, and so this should be more of a computed thing. Notes, I think. I don't think we ever just ask for the notes except for one time for song. So it's not some sort of thing that we keep around very much. Okay, the fact that we default to one part, the current part, I think that's probably okay, but I got a feeling we really should make this more like an undefined and do some sort of default, like take the part names and sort them or something. I don't know. But anyway, it gives us somewhere to pick up tomorrow. So next session is tomorrow, Eastern Time, 1 to 3:30 p.m., UTC 6 to 8:30 p.m., and we will continue with these parts. And I think at that point, our report stuff will change based on the parts. I don't know that we have any. The no scaling example we have doesn't have any uses of this, so we'd have to make up our own tune to see it. But we should generate pictures that reflect the whole tune, AABB or whatever it is. All right. Thanks for joining, and I hope I catch you again sometime. Take care. Bye-bye.